Antarctica, an icy, barren landscape stretching beyond the endless white horizon. More than 5 million square miles of ice, snow, and towering mountains. One of the coldest, driest, and windiest places on Earth. But this is just an illusion. The Antarctic ice sheet is 2 miles thick. It is a lid sealing something below. Not just rock and ice, but an entire hidden landscape. Ancient mountains, prehistoric river valleys, locked away from the sunlight. A world that once existed. Hidden beneath the most desolate place on Earth, scientists are slowly uncovering the truth. A glimpse into the past. A lost world frozen in time, preserved by the ice. Millions of years ago, Antarctica wasn't the place we know today. But to find out exactly what it looked like back then, scientists have used specialist equipment to penetrate the thick ice and see what lies beneath. On the surface of the white continent, satellite images gave us a clue. What it was like before small indentations, subtle dips, and raised patches in the ice suggested there was an undulating landscape 2 miles below. Where snow and ice had compacted over millions of years, its topography hinted at a hidden world. So, the scientists searched deeper, using more advanced technology to understand what Antarctica was truly like before it was encased in endless ice. Ice-penetrating radar revealed the truth. Insert sound of radar pinging as it picks up objects. Underneath the southern continent was a land mirrored in other parts of the world. Hidden in the darkness, the landscape was bent and buckled into mountain ranges. The surface of the rock faces and vast expanses of land were millions of years old. Branching valleys spread like veins beneath the ice. The unmistakable signature of ancient river systems where life would have thrived. How did Antarctica become encrusted in snow and ice? More than 34 million years ago, Antarctica was a green continent. Where today ice extends far beyond the horizon, forests once spread across the land. Mist-covered mountains rose out of the plains dotted with tall conifers. Rivers cut through the landscape, making it lush and green. It was a cool and temperate place, not unlike today's southern Chile or New Zealand. But then came a time when everything changed. Back then, Antarctica was part of Gondwana, one of 2 supercontinents covering the Earth. As tectonics shifted and this enormous landmass broke apart, Antarctica was left isolated at the bottom of the world, showing the breakup of Gondwana. And that separation changed the continent forever. With no landfall to slow the currents and winds traversing the Southern Ocean, they built, uninterrupted across hundreds of miles. The Antarctic Circumpolar Current formed, continually circulating Antarctica. Some of the fiercest storms batter the south, rogue waves reach 100 feet tall, and the sun never rises for 6 months at a time. The icy climate enveloped the coldest continent on Earth and wrapped it in ice. Where so-called warm ice had driven glaciers down mountainsides, carving the valleys and forging the landscape as they went, cold ice put a stop to this. It sealed the continent, freezing it in time. Glaciers no longer advanced, ice could no longer move. The Antarctic ice sheet spread across the landscape, burying the rivers and valleys, the plains and mountains, hiding an ancient world and locking it away for millions of years. But that's not all that's concealed beneath the ice shelves, and the water beneath. The landscape may seem trapped in a time before now, but there is something else down there. The ice sheet hadn't just formed over the solid landmass of Antarctica. At the fringes of the continent, where land meets sea, the ice continued to spread outwards. like icy fingers stretching out over the water. This formed the ice shelves. The largest, the Ross Ice Shelf, measures 500 miles across, a similar size to France. They can be hundreds of meters thick, like extensions of the land. But when a colossal iceberg, the size of Chicago, broke off from Antarctica's George VI ice shelf, there was something extraordinary hidden in the darkest depths. Stretching 3/4 of a mile below the water's surface, it is impossible to examine the seafloor below Antarctica. But this event gave us a rare opportunity, a glimpse into the unknown. And that glimpse didn't disappoint. It left scientists shocked. There was something still alive down there. The lid hadn't just sealed in a fossilized world. It had hidden something still living beneath the ice. Scientists steered a remote operating vehicle into the icy depths. Sound effects, bubbles escaping as it descends through the water, a crackle of a radio or beep of a monitor. As the light faded and the rover descended into darkness, the cameras picked up an exposed seafloor. Never before had humans laid eyes on this remarkable underwater world. For the first time in history, humans were seeing this world. The first time it had been unmasked. And the findings didn't disappoint. Nevdar beeping from ROV monitors as they've picked up something. It turns out that the massive ice sheet isn't just hiding land, it is sealing off entire ecosystems we never knew existed. In a place where sunlight never reaches, life survives through an entirely different system. When that iceberg broke away, it peeled part of the lid off this secret world. It offered a peek into the uncharted territory. Tiny organisms feed in total darkness on the slow-moving stream of nutrients carried by cold ocean currents beneath the ice shelves. They form the base of a fragile food web. 1,200 meters below the surface, intricately patterned deep-sea corals swayed in the current. Large cup corals, likely hundreds of years old, emerged from the dark. Sponges and clusters of sea anemones clung to rocky outcrops like a floral depiction deep under the water. They are opportunistic feeders, taking what they can from the water all around them. Down here in the darkness, they can't be picky. But then, something caught the scientists' eyes. Crackles, and excited but unclear, voices sound over the radio. It moved rapidly, a flicker at the edge of the camera. When the rover turned its spotlight, it fell on something unusual, alien even. Long, spindly legs, almost no body. A creature spanning the size of a dinner plate scuttling along the seafloor. It was unearthly, skeletal almost, a sea spider of enormous proportions. Known for their polar gigantism, these sea spiders are much larger than their warm water counterparts. They use their long proboscis to suck out the insides from unsuspecting sea anemones. And that's not all that was down there. Elsewhere, icefish, whose blood is a shocking white in colour, patrolled the seafloor. An octopus shied away from the light, tucking into a tight crevice. All around there is life in these icy waters, hidden far below the southernmost continent, in one of the most inhospitable places on Earth, an ecosystem thrives. And yet, who does this all belong to? Antarctica belongs to no one. What happens if the ice sheet melts and Antarctica once again becomes a green and habitable land? Who lays claims to it then? Today, Antarctica isn't owned by anyone. Instead, it is protected under the Antarctic Treaty established in 1959. This treaty keeps Antarctica locked away from the rest of the world. The continent can't be used for military purposes, resources can't be extracted from its frozen land, and territories can't be claimed. But land has been claimed in the past. 7 nations have each declared a portion of Antarctica as their own. And although these aren't internationally recognized, things could change in the future. In 2048, the treaty can be formally reviewed. At that point, nations could push to reopen discussions around the ban on mineral extraction, a clause that has, until now, kept Antarctica untouched. On paper, any change would require near total agreement between treaty members. In reality, it would take only shifting global pressures for the idea of access to the continent to resurface. And as more of Antarctica becomes reachable, the questions become harder to ignore. Who gets access to what lies beneath? Who decides whether this world is studied, drilled, mined, or preserved? And what happens when multiple nations begin asking those questions at once? With global warming and the thinning of the ice sheet, it is a real possibility that one day the ancient land of Antarctica that has been locked away for millions of years will emerge once again. Mountains, rivers, and valleys that no human has ever set foot upon may suddenly stand exposed to the world. Of course, if the Antarctic ice sheet really does melt in its entirety, then it could spell disaster for much of the world. Sea levels would rise dramatically, drowning coastal cities and towns. Ecosystems would change. Currents that drive global climate could choke, and humans, under immense strain, may seek a place of refuge. Places once thought uninhabitable. A place like Antarctica. Because what lies beneath the ice isn't just a scientific curiosity. It is a vast, preserved ecosystem. And the question is no longer what it is, but how long it will remain closed to the rest of the world. The seal is beginning to crack, and the world may soon have to decide what to do with what lies beneath.